So today, hello again. Sorry, how you all doing? That's what I should start with. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good week. I'm recording this video more toward the end of the week. So basically what I'm going to go through today is Andrew's sparring, Andrew's pad work, and a little bit of pad work from myself. But what I wanted to show you was the levels that he went to prior to his fight, how he felt, how he was sparring, how he was working. So just to show you that adrenaline dump is real, it's 100% real. Because when you watch all of this footage back and you see the levels that he worked to and how much energy that he had, you understand what I'm saying about energy. About adrenaline dumps is actually real. So, what I'm going to take you through today is just a little bit of pad work from the man like Jaguar Skills, some pad work from Jaguar Skills. Then you're going to go into some sparring with a professional boxer or amateur coming up the ranks. I'm not too sure exactly where he stands in this, and then you're going to see the control, the level of control that he had, how he was on point, should I say, his jab, his movement, basically everything, his relaxation. And you know, one could say that in sparring it's different because you haven't got all of the pressure and everything else, blah blah, and this is exactly my point. When you're actually sparring, or when you're sparring with friends, you've got a little bit more control. You've got, should I say a little bit more control? You've got a little bit more relaxation. And you haven't got the pressure of obviously the fight, the lights, the people watching, expectations, etc., etc. So here you'll see throughout this video that how sharp he was, how accurate he was, and basically just everything about his presence. And I'll just talk you through little bits of it. You can, again, leave comments, you can judge for yourself and make up your own, come to your own conclusions with regards to what's actually happened. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to not speak too much, not going to speak too much, that's what I meant, and I'm going to go straight into the video. But before I do, again, guys, hit that subscribe button, help me to bring you more content. I'm going to bring you more content anyway, but help me to elevate my content by you guys subscribing and just giving me that support. Because again, I think it's 78% of my videos, when I look at that, my analytics, you guys don't subscribe. Okay, so I've got loads of followers and only a small percentage of you watch actually these videos. But then you ask me questions about, well, how do I do this, how do I do that, how do I do this, do you know this person, do you know that person? If you watched my content, if you understood my content, and you know, you followed everything that I do, then you'll see that I bring you everything that I'm about, which is the training element, the pad work element, even down to fitness elements, different areas of fitness where what I do, I just not normal, just kickboxing, Thai boxing, boxing, calisthenics, and normal gym work. Okay, all of that's in these videos. So you guys should, before asking me questions, have a look at the content that I bring to you, and then you kind of get a picture of what I'm about, how long I've known Andrew, etc. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go straight into the video. So we have here pads with Jaguar Skills. Jaguar skills. I call him Jaguar skills. Jaguar. Man like Jaguar. Okay? So I have done a couple of reels on this before with regards to, you know, just different angles, and you can see it a little bit closer. It's a little bit dark here, so I'm going to try and lighten it up a little bit so you can see a little bit more of what I'm actually doing on here. This gentleman came in to just do some pads with Andrew, just to give him a different feel and a different look, because obviously he has Amir. Amir is skilled, knows what he's doing, #1 in my book. Okay, so but it's nice to have different elements, like when I say to you in previous videos about going to different gyms to do different sparring with different people. Then it's also doing pads with different people, because you get a different, everybody's different. Nobody is exactly the same. So you get a good general feel of, you know, when somebody else does pads with you, and it brings more tools into your kind of repertoire. So you can then plan for basically all eventualities. Okay? Okay, so again, if there are areas on here, again, I think I mentioned before, where I can let you listen to what's going on in the background, I will do. So you get a general gist of obviously the impact on the pads, what we're talking about, etc. Also, the reason why I don't, and I'll say it again, is because copyright, music playing in the background, etc. So I don't necessarily want to get any strikes on my YouTube. Okay? I've already got a couple already. I don't want any more. Okay, so here we are. So the difference between Jaguar and Amir is Amir's very kind of flowy kind of movements to get muscle memory into your muscles. And if you've watched any of the previous videos with Amir, it's very much bang, 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 and it's very much a reaction thing. Whereas Jaguar will tell you combinations and go through those combinations as I do, like 2 or 3, maybe 4 times, and change it up, 2 or 3, maybe 4 times, then change it up, then do something different, and then bring that same combination back into the mix, and then move on from there. A little bit of water, hydration. So when you hear the impact on the pads, then you'll understand the kind of ferociousness that he's actually hitting these pads with. Again, I lighten everything up so you can see just a little bit more clearer from the background, but you can see everybody's just chilling, watching what is basically going on. And this is a full camp at, as Big Amir there, this is a full camp at British Boxing Club in Dubai. Again, this is just with Andrew here. This is more the sheer brute force, the power, the different combinations, the different angles. As he's talking to him here, he's just giving him coaching on what he wants next. Just the sheer brute force and the sheer power that Andrew brought to it. And you can see how comfortable he was with this. You know, always moving forward, always having an expectation, always moving. And this pad work, as you can see, will translate into the sparring that you'll see in just a few minutes. Again, he does something similar to what I do. Jacob does something similar to what I do. So he tells you about the combination before actually executing the combination. And then we execute a combination and we build out, then we build out, then we build out. He's a very, very good pad holder. Michael's a very, very good pad holder. Leave in the comments, do I fight again? You know, when you watch all of this back, when I watch all of this back, it's like, he as a fighter, you always get that burning urge to want to keep doing, like keep fighting. Obviously, age, activity comes into play, but you kind of still get that urge, you still get that general urge. So leave in the comments whether you want me to fight again, and I'll see what the comments say, and then we'll see what happens this year. So yeah, we're going through and we're watching and enjoying this pads, and you like I say, I'll be able to turn this up and you can hear all of this. But very comfortable, very relaxed, very sharp, very powerful, good movement, good awareness. There's me. Near. Probably just hit me on the way through. No, he couldn't have hit me because I was behind him. But it's always good, and I say this to many people, it's always good to watch what you do back, watch your fights back, watch your sparring back, watch your pad work back, and seeing what you can improve on, and analysing everything. I don't think there's a boxer out there that doesn't watch his fights back, doesn't watch what he can improve on. That's how, you know, you become better. And everybody makes mistakes in there, or everybody's aware of, kind of aware of what they're doing, and always wants to improve on certain things, certain skills, or a certain skill set, when you watch it back. Warren is just having a big stretch before he goes into sparring, because Warren will be sparring later, but I don't think in this video that we have any footage of Warren sparring or doing pads. Andrew is a machine. When he was going through this camp, it was like he was just continuously going, thanks man. He was just continually going and going and going and going and going. And then me is just gonna stand in front of my camera. Just going and going and going and going. And he was just like a relentless machine. Now, this is the gentleman that we're going to go into with some sparring. And again, if you look at what was previously happening and his movement when he was previously happening on his pads, then you can see the similarity between the two. Controls the center of the ring. Again, this is not super hard. This is just more of a semi kind of light session. throwing that one hand down, throwing that jab. Again, these boxers that he was using for his sparring partners were very skilled, were very versed in, you know, what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. They've had fights prior, but they're all big guys. They're all big guys. Either taller, slimmer, same height, stocky. But boxers, you can see that these guys have a skill set. You know, they're boxing, there's no kind of cheap shots, there's no kind of wild shots. They're all kind of schooled, very professional looking boxers. Hands up, movement, in and out, good feet. I thought that was he went for the body shot but left his head open, and a quick snappy sharp jab from Andrew. Using the feints, the other guy. You know, these boxers change from orthodox to southpaw. The transition is seamless. That's the first round over. Going into the second one, I've moved the camera a little bit so we can see pretty much all of the ring. And just very awkward. So this guy was trying many different things. You can see he seamlessly changed stance there. And then caught him again. And just very calm, very relaxed, very controlled, not hitting too hard, not throwing anything too much into his punches, but just short, sharp punches. But he still held the center of the ring for the majority of the sparring session. Makes me want to actually think that I should have had a video of me sparring with Andrew, really, to be fair, because I'm a bit relentless when it comes to that. I'm just a dog when it comes into the ring, and I just like just going for it. I know I'm gonna get shots, I'm gonna get caught with shots, but I just like being a dog, making him work. This is allowing Andrew to think about what's coming towards him, because he's throwing the other gentleman, but he's not constantly just throwing, he's picking his shots. and then they'll stop and then they'll move. As you can see, you're stopping and they'll move and they'll go again, they'll stop and they'll move and go again. That's a very good movement from him. But then there's a very, very good counter return on that. Obviously, the gentleman had his hands up. It's great. That was the end of that round. We go into another one. Again, when you saw the holding on there, they both broke. Holding, he didn't lean on him like you saw in the actual fight. He didn't actually lean on him. He just kind of they held for a bit and then they let go. Bit of a tussle here. Very good technical sparring this is. It's good to watch. It's very, very good to watch. Cool break, and they both break. Mutual respect. Back out and just taking the center of the ring again. When someone generally takes the center of the ring, it means that they're confident and they're in control. So if you're ever out there and you take the center of the ring, you'll do less running around. You be economical with your feet, i.e. taking one step to cut off the ring, because you're inside the center. You take one step either to the left or to the right. And then the ring's cut off. For a bit of holding here. Okay, we start another round. And again, there's not going to be too much talking for myself on this one because what you're watching speaks for itself. I'm a great lover of all combat sports anyway. And if this was kickboxing, if it was boxing, if it was Thai, it'd be exactly the same thing. You know, you've seen previously or you haven't seen calisthenics videos on here as well. So this is me. This is, you know, I love being in the gym. I love watching boxing. I love watching Thai boxing, kickboxing, basically all sports really, to be fair. I even like a little bit of tennis. Do you know what I mean? So I think the only sport that I don't watch, even down to F1, the only sport I don't watch really is golf. All athletics, love it. So yeah, so this other gentleman's counter is very, very good because Andrew is actually getting caught here. But he is catching him more than he's actually getting caught, but he's still getting caught. So again, you know, professional boxer, doing what he does best, being in the ring. Andrew's 20 years kickboxing, so you can see the difference in form and stance, and the way that they both stand. Andrew's ultimately putting the pressure on now. Good shot there. Okay, so another gentleman, and we're talking about different sizes, taller, slimmer, shorter, stockier. Up against the taller gentleman here now. That was a fantastic jab there. This gentleman hasn't got his hands up as much. So with Andrew's sharpness, it's a lot easier to catch. Good shot there, good body shot. And a good hook. Finish that round. So we're going to the different elements. So this is me and Max. So you may have seen a couple of videos of me and Max before. And this is about just in and out movement, in and out movement. Like, so once he's done his combination, taking a half step in or taking a step in, thrown his punches, and then come straight back out again. So this was the central focus on this one. So it's just in and out movement. So whenever he in and out movement and then move back or move off to the side. So you can see every single time he does his combinations, he's moving back out again. So he can then, if he needs to counter or get out of the way of a counter, but she's using the paddles here as well. Sees Max is much better. I think he should drag his back foot just a little bit. But again, we worked on that once I watched it back. Again, I'm just taking him through the simple punches, making him use his range. There you can see making him use his range, making him move. Stepping in, stepping back out again, bang over the top, nice, move around. It's getting so much more slicker. And every paddle holder is different. So everybody's gonna have their own specific kind of style in the way that they hold pads. Once the fighter or your client gets used to you, then he knows exactly what might come back or what he has to do or where he has to move, how he has to move. This is Max just massively improving from videos that you've seen previously to this. The guys at the back, Andrew, I think, is taking a little bit of a break, so you can see in the background that other people are sparring in the ring. you see where Max has come from to where he got to. You know, he trained pretty much every day, and his hands are now sharp. He's keeping his hands up there. I was probably just telling him to just keep his hands up just a little bit more. You know, if you look at the other boxer that was just on, which you'll see again in just a second, then you'll see like his hand positioning, Max's hand positioning. You know, he's more comfortable now. He's not dropping his hands when he throws his punches. Little things. And then when the punches come, they're a lot sharper. And he looks just a little bit more relaxed. Definitely faster. Again, just going through like simple combinations done very, very well, which, you know, he's proven to be doing here. Jab is so much more sharper. His feet moving about, and he's back out again. Yeah, see, when I throw that paddle, because I've got a bit of an extension on the paddle because obviously the length of the paddle, but it just goes to show that he's just moving out of range, so he doesn't stay in range to get hit. Just moving it back again. Always moving around, because again, an example of this is like when you saw Andrew and the other gentleman sparring in the ring, they weren't staying static in one position. I think I said this on a previous video, whereas they don't stand there and just do nothing. They just literally, they're always moving about. So then we go back into these two guys again, Andrew and this other gentleman sparring again. And I'm not sure what round this is. I think this is like third or fourth. And this is fourth. I think they've done about 6 to 8 rounds. That's the end of that one. And then we go into another one. See, as you spar with someone, you get to understand where they're going to move to, and it's up to you as a fighter to adapt. And you hear this in any professional fight, where fighters adapt to the fight that they're fighting, because you have to adapt sometimes in the ring, because you can study them all you like, but then when it actually comes down to actually doing it, it's actually different. And if they're not the same fighter that they were in their previous fight, because styles make fights, and you're always going to fight different with each and every single person, then you have to, as that person, have to adapt. So you have to change what you're doing to combat the person in front of you. Andrew's now letting his hands go. Just like kind of semi, kind of playtime's over. So there's more pressure that he's applying. So he's applying more pressure. It's a good shot there from the other gentleman. That's good shots there from the counter from Andrew. He just throws so effortlessly. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so we're going to continue watching this, but we are coming towards the end of the video again. Okay, it goes so quickly when I'm doing commentating. So what I wanted to say was, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your support. Please do like, share, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your comments. Don't forget, we still have our competition running. It's going to run until the end of February. I'm going to pick someone random, and I'm going to give away all of this stuff. Okay? Because it's sitting there, and I'm definitely going to do it. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Box raw stuff. Fire blood shorts coming your way. Okay? So, see you soon.